What if I told you that one of the most popular growth ETFs isn't necessarily the best choice for long-term investors? Most people automatically assume that QQQ is the king of growth investing, but there's another ETF quietly delivering impressive results while charging lower fees and avoiding one of QQQ's biggest hidden risks. By the end of this video, I'll reveal the one question every investor should ask before choosing between SCHG and QQQ. The answer could completely change which ETF belongs in your portfolio. If you enjoy straightforward ETF analysis without the hype, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and let me know in the comments which ETF you currently own, SCHG, QQQ, both, or neither. Let's get started. The common mistake investors make. Whenever investors want exposure to fast-growing companies, QQQ is usually the first ETF that comes to mind. It has a long track record, enormous assets under management, and a reputation for outperforming during strong bull markets. But here's the problem. Many investors buy QQQ without actually understanding what they're investing in. They're buying the NASDAQ 100 index, not simply the best growth companies. Those are two very different things. SCHG, on the other hand, follows a completely different philosophy. Instead of selecting companies because they trade on the NASDAQ exchange, SCHG screens for large-cap U.S. companies with strong growth characteristics. That distinction sounds small. In reality, it changes everything. What makes QQQ unique? QQQ owns the 100 largest non-financial companies listed on the NASDAQ exchange. That means you'll find giants like Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, Broadcom, Netflix, and many other technology leaders. The fund has benefited enormously from artificial intelligence, cloud computing, semiconductors, and digital transformation. But there is an overlooked consequence. The NASDAQ exchange naturally attracts technology companies. As a result, QQQ ends up being extremely concentrated in technology and communication services. When those sectors perform well, QQQ looks unstoppable. When they struggle, investors quickly discover just how much concentration risk they were taking. Why SCHG takes a different approach? SCHG isn't trying to replicate the NASDAQ. Instead, it searches across the U.S. large-cap universe for companies expected to deliver above-average earnings growth. Technology still represents a major portion of the portfolio because that's where many growth companies exist today. However, SCHG isn't restricted by exchange listings. That flexibility allows it to own outstanding growth companies regardless of whether they trade on NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange. It's a subtle difference that creates a more diversified growth portfolio over time. Even more importantly, SCHG tends to hold more companies than QQQ. More holdings don't automatically mean higher returns. But they often reduce company-specific risk while still capturing long-term growth. If you're finding this comparison helpful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel reach more investors who are trying to build smarter portfolios instead of simply following the crowd. The fee difference matters more than you think. Here's something many investors underestimate. Expenses. QQQ charges a higher expense ratio than SCHG. At first glance, the difference may seem insignificant. After all, we're only talking about a fraction of a percent. But investing is a game of compounding. Every dollar paid in fees is a dollar that can no longer compound for decades. Imagine investing consistently over 20 or 30 years. Lower costs may not make headlines, but they quietly increase your ending portfolio value. That's one reason many long-term investors appreciate SCHG. It delivers broad exposure to high-quality growth companies while keeping costs extremely competitive. Performance isn't the whole story. Now let's address the question everyone wants answered. Which ETF has performed better? The honest answer is: it depends on the time period. During years when mega-cap technology companies dominate the market, QQQ often takes the lead because of its heavier concentration. But markets don't move in straight lines forever. Leadership changes. Different sectors outperform at different stages of the economic cycle. SCHG has often remained remarkably competitive despite carrying broader diversification and lower expenses. That tells us something important. Exceptional returns don't always require taking maximum concentration risk. Sometimes a more balanced approach can deliver similar long-term outcomes while making the ride less stressful. That's an important lesson many investors only learn after experiencing a major market correction. The hidden risk nobody talks about. Here's the biggest insight I want you to remember. Most investors compare SCHG and QQQ based only on returns. Very few compare them based on why those returns happened. QQQ's methodology depends heavily on where companies are listed. SCHG's methodology depends more on company fundamentals and growth characteristics. Ask yourself this question. If two identical companies existed, one listed on the NASDAQ and one on the New York Stock Exchange, should your investment decision depend on which exchange they chose? Probably not. Yet that's effectively what happens inside QQQ. This doesn't make QQQ a bad ETF. Far from it. It's an outstanding fund with a phenomenal history. But understanding this difference helps investors choose the ETF that better matches their investing philosophy rather than simply chasing past performance. Which investors should choose SCHG? SCHG may be a better fit if you want broad exposure to U.S. large-cap growth companies. You value lower expenses. You prefer slightly broader diversification. You want less dependence on a single stock exchange. QQQ may be better suited if you specifically want exposure to the NASDAQ 100. You're comfortable with heavier technology concentration. You believe mega-cap innovation will continue dominating for many years. Interestingly, some investors don't choose between them at all. They own both. While there is significant overlap, combining them can slightly tilt a portfolio toward the innovative technology leaders while maintaining broader growth exposure. If you've made it this far, comment growth below. I'd love to see how many long-term investors are watching all the way through, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy ETF comparisons like this every week. The real truth revealed. So, is SCHG better than QQQ? The truth is that neither ETF is objectively better. The better choice depends on what you're trying to accomplish. If your goal is maximizing exposure to the NASDAQ's biggest innovators, QQQ remains an excellent option. If your goal is owning a diversified basket of high-quality growth companies with lower costs and fewer structural limitations, SCHG deserves very serious consideration. The biggest mistake isn't choosing SCHG. The biggest mistake isn't choosing QQQ. The biggest mistake is buying either ETF without understanding how it actually selects its holdings. Successful investing isn't about finding the perfect ETF. It's about choosing investments that align with your strategy and sticking with them through market ups and downs. Thanks for watching. If you found this analysis valuable, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe for more in-depth ETF comparisons, and share this video with someone who's trying to decide between SCHG and QQQ. Also, let me know in the comments, if you could only own one growth ETF for the next 20 years, would you choose SCHG or QQQ, and why? This video is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered financial, legal, tax, or professional investment advice. Always conduct your own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. As always, thank you for watching, keep learning, keep investing wisely, and I'll see you in the next video.